doing push-ups. I've been doing sit-ups. I've been doing chin-ups. I've been doing pull-ups. I threw up once, but I'm okay now.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to a Wednesday edition of the Ysn Power Hour. DJ Oakley with you. Alongside me on the other side of the table, it is the plumber himself, Richie Giuliano. And, well, if he's the plumber, he must be the handyman, Scotty, the real deal Mincher. What's up, boys?
Oh, just ready to rock and roll today.
So this is one of the interesting parts of the summer because there's like nothing.
There's nothing going on.
Nothing going on. And we can't create our own stuff. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about a couple things. We're going to talk about nicknames. Scotty, that was your topic. You want to talk about nicknames, best nicknames in sports. So have those ready. And Richie and I kind of came up with one because it is Father's Day on Sunday. The best father-son duos in all of sports. And then we're going to also kind of compound that with the best television fathers of all time. So think about those ones as well, because I think that's topic numero uno will be like, think about all of the TV dads out there.
Yeah.
Al Bundy at the top of my list, like the very top of my list.
Al Bundy.
Al Bundy's a great TV dad.
Bob Saget.
Bob Saget was, but yeah, he was a good TV dad, but like he had help. He had Uncle Jesse and Uncle Joey.
Yeah.
So was he really that
Bill
good of a
Nye, the
dad?
science guy.
That is not a TV dad.
It counts.
No, it doesn't. How does
He's
that
on
count?
TV.
But he's not a dad.
How do you know?
Maybe the father of science.
Yeah. Father of science.
See.
Science rules.
I gave you that. That was a freebie.
You just gifted me that.
All right. We'll talk about all that and more. We want to know your favorite TV dads. We also want to know your favorite your favorite sports dads in combinations with their son. Before we get any of that and all of that, we have to get to on this day in sports history. Let's roll it. All right, so on this day in sports history, June 15th, 2019, so 3 years ago, boys. Quick math, East Palestine math. A baseball jersey belonging to Babe Ruth becomes the most expensive sports memorabilia when it sells for $5.64 million at an auction in New York. Babe Ruth, $5.64 million for his jersey, which leads me to the question, what is the most you would ever pay for sports memorabilia? And what would it be?
That's a great question.
So let's start it a little bit earlier. Let's take this back one notch. What is the most you've ever paid for sports memorabilia, and what was it? Richie, you're not a sports memorabilia guy, are you?
I'm not. No, I'm big. If I had a baseball as a kid, I'd go up to the sidewall, get it signed, and that's my sports memorabilia. I do have a lot of bobbleheads though. Big bobblehead guy from exploring different parks, and I've got one of my idol and Tom Hamilton that was only sold once. My mom actually got it off eBay. Somebody was selling it, so I mean that's probably the most I've ever spent on any memorabilia that's in my closet. I mean everything I have is my own personal signage or somebody giving it to me as a gift.
Have you ever talked to Tom Hamilton?
No,
never crossed paths.
Never crossed paths.
You've got the bobblehead, but that's as close as you got.
I can hear him at night. That's about it.
All right, we're gonna fix that. We're gonna fix that up. If we get Tom Hamilton on, he'll be jealous though.
I have a bobblehead too.
The Tom Hamilton bobblehead?
Yep. Tom Hamilton talking bobblehead.
Yeah, that's
It's a
exactly
talking
right.
bobblehead?
It talks,
Yeah.
yeah. It has like his calls.
Wow.
Yeah, it has like swung on and belted.
Way back. I'm not very good at that one. I can do the
And
Greg
like-
Brown ones.
Like ball game.
But the most I'd probably spend on memorabilia is $300.
What was it?
I think it was a signed bat, and it was full of the 2016 at the time Cleveland Indians team. So that's the most I'll ever spend.
Did you see what's out there in our bat rack?
No.
1995 signed Cleveland Indians bat.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even see it.
Albert Bell, Kenny Lofton,
Yeah.
Carlos Baerga,
See,
all
that
those
would be
guys.
worth probably 500 to 1,000.
That's straight up from Gary Leininger. He said, "You want this?" And I said, "Does it have Albert Bell on it?" He said, "Yes, mine."
Yep.
Dibs. And that was a just given because he loves me. He loves us. What was the most you'd ever spend? Like, what would it be? What's the one thing that if you had sports memorabilia, you would buy it hands down?
It'd be the Rajay Davis home run ball. That would be the one thing I'd probably try and buy at lengths for, is that ball. Because that's the greatest moment in like my life as a Cleveland fan, outside of the Cavs win.
I was going to say the Cavs
championship.
won the game.
I know, but I'm such a big baseball guy.
True.
It hit homes for baseball, but I was emotional when the Cavs won, but when the Indians at the time were just a couple outs away from winning the World Series, it was just like, this is happening. Like, this is going to be the greatest moment of my life. That didn't happen.
Then it went.
Then it went down.
There it goes.
Then the tarp came out.
Steve says he also has the bobblehead.
All right, so maybe it's like pretty common out there then. But my mom got it off eBay.
I'm gonna have to get it off eBay now
And
too.
I thought it was like the greatest thing ever because like they only sold it like at one game.
Yeah, I got it at the. I don't remember who they were playing in the date, but I do remember the game was in 2007. I got it at the game.
So I'm gonna take a look and see what we can get for the Tom.
I mean, there might not even be any left because if you think about it, when teams give out bobbleheads, they don't give out the entire capacity. They give about 15 to 20,000 usually.
So you can get the talking bobblehead for $50 on eBay right now.
So it's still out there then.
So and they're aplenty, my friends. They are aplenty. There's
Well,
at least-
maybe the I don't know. Maybe they sold them at the team shop for a little bit.
No, it looks like they're all like just bobbleheads, and people. What happens is people get like 4 or 5 of them because they'll have their kids get the bobbleheads too, and they'll sell their kids because their kids don't really want them.
Yeah, it's in a nice case and everything. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
You know what else I have that I love, which it's also it ties into the bobbleheads. I didn't spend like a ton for. I maybe spent $50, but it's a Kenny Powers eastbound and down
Love
talking
it.
bobblehead.
I'm sure he's got plenty to say.
Yeah, he does.
Oh,
He says that you're bleeping out.
I'm glad you bleeped yourself because I'm sitting there like, oh no, he's gonna let it fly. What's your favorite piece of memorabilia, Scotty? And what did you pay for it?
My favorite piece of memorabilia that I've actually purchased. I have so much good sports stuff. So this is a tough one. But I probably go. I love, and I didn't pay, over the moon for it, but I love the throwback Houston Oilers, Warren Moon. I love like those.
Not autographed,
It's not
Okay.
autographed. No,
just straight
I
up.
think I paid like $150 or $200.
Wow, that's legit. That's not our China hookup,
Yeah.
our usual stop on DH Gate. What would be the one thing that you would want?
I think I probably would want an autograph picture if I could get it from him personally. I think it'd definitely be what I would want. Autograph Jim Brown picture.
Oh wow,
Nice.
yeah, that would be a good one. And how much would you pay for it?
I would probably, my ceiling would be, I wouldn't want to pay more than 500.
That's fair.
I'd say 500 bucks.
So what about you? I mean, DJ, when you look around this office, everything's sports memorabilia around here. So, I mean, you got 100 of things to choose from. I mean, overall, in this office, what do you think your favorite
In the
would
office?
be? Yeah.
Oh man. It's tough. I have so many things in the office, but I really haven't brought much in the way of like the stuff that I actually have at home. Like my wife and I share an office at home now. That it's just decked out in the basement with Steelers and Penguins and everything. And I've started to get jerseys, like acquired jerseys. So some of the jerseys that I've acquired in the last 6 months, Kurt Warner, Rams jersey, Michael Orr, even he's a Raven, but like what he stands for and what he's been through. If you've seen The Blind Side, you understand it. So I have a signed Michael Orr jersey as well. A Minka Fitzpatrick jersey. I have Brian Rust jersey for the Penguins. But my number one thing at home is, and it's not for the reasons you might expect. I'm going to say it, and you're going to roll your eyes. It's my Ben Roethlisberger autographed jersey. And it's because it was acquired during the Peyton Strong Foundation raffle or the auction. And I just remember the number just kept going up and up and up and up. And I was actually the auctioneer at the time, and I'm like one-upping everybody. I kept looking over at my wife, and she just kept nodding her head, one of those like, we're going to do this, because it meant a lot to me being it's Roethlisberger, but it meant a lot that the money that we were putting into it went to Peyton. And she meant a lot. She means a lot to me. She means a lot to Steve. She means a lot to the organization here at YSN. And I forget, it was well over $1,000 that we donated that night for that jersey. So, but it's hanging up in a frame that I'm told if the house burns down, that frame will be just fine. So we're good to go on that. But no, there's a lot. I've just, that bat is very meaningful because it didn't cost me a thing. Yeah. But it's a guy in Gary Leininger who takes pictures as a huge part of our team that said, hey, this will look cool. We have actual newspapers from 1920 out in the lobby from when the Yankees won the World Series. And that's kind of neat. That's cool. Stuff like that. But there's a lot. I love sports memorabilia. I mean, if you can't tell, I absolutely adore it. And I would pay a lot of money for stuff because, like you said, moments in time that are very, very, very special to you. And we haven't, like, some of these things aren't like special to me. It's just like, how unique is that to have papers from 100 years ago on our wall, in a company that was started in 2017. So I'm not a historian like you are, Richie, because you love history and the history of baseball especially, but I like just moments in time where you can go back. The new thing now I'm seeing online is people going and getting these authentic jerseys, and like they'll match them up to the games that they were played in. By every jersey is like a unicorn, like they're all unique, like even down to the fabric. So people get like high resolution pictures and they can match them up to the game they were played. And in some cases, like Peyton Manning has a jersey that he wears for one half and another jersey that he wears for the second half. Wow. So they can have like 1A, 1B. So very cool. I thought that was $5.64 million for Babe Ruth. I think that's a little bit out of my price range. Much. So maybe if it was $564, we'd throw him a bone. But we're a couple ice cream seasons away from $5.64 million, which leads us to it's nickname time. Nickname time. Best nicknames in sports. Scotty, what are the parameters of this conversation?
As far as I've been thinking about it, and you came up with the idea too, and I feel like we could, put this into the conversation as well. I think you can go best nicknames individually. So some of your favorite all-time sports nicknames, and then as far as teams go, the best team names. Some of your
Okay.
favorite. And one of mine, I really don't know if this like caught much traction outside of Cleveland, but if you remember, I think it was 2011, if I'm not mistaken, Peyton Hillis for one season with the Browns. He had one really good year.
It's on the cover of
Over
Madden that year.
1,000 yards rushing.
I'm trying to think of his name.
Had the receiving yards too.
I can see
and
it.
I actually got a shirt with this on the shirt. And
Wait, don't say it yet. Don't say it yet. Let me see if I can remember it. It's Juggernaut?
It wasn't Juggernaut. It was Albino Rhino. The Albino Rhino. That's one of my favorite all time. I admit that's a little biased because I love
You got to bring that shirt out of retirement, man.
Yeah, I got to see if I can find it. It got small because I've gotten bigger, so
Dang on.
I don't know if it fits.
Must have been
anymore.
cotton.
It's that shrinking cotton, man.
Yeah, it
Should have used
was.
polyester.
I should have
Sounds like a
seen
Seinfeld episode.
Yeah.
if I could have got. It might have been one of those 100% cottons.
Seinfeld, by the way, is such an underrated show nowadays.
It's unreal. I love it.
My wife hated it. We watched an episode yesterday, just kind of relaxing. She giggled so much because it was the one where Kramer loses. He tries the boxers.
Yep.
I'm out there, Jerry, and I'm loving every minute of it.
My favorite is when he comes back with the golf clubs and he throws them on the ground. I can't. This could be us on Monday. I can't do it anymore, Jerry. It's sitting right there, and I can't hit it. And then later in the episode, the ball that he hits is in the whale. It's stuck in the blowhole of the whale.
Oh my gosh, such a good show. Are you a Seinfeld guy?
I am. I never watched it. I know it. Like the last episode was a long time ago. It was like the late '90s.
Yeah.
But I never watched it like religiously. I do enjoy Seinfeld every so often. I really like it. But I gotta tell you, I love Curb Your Enthusiasm,
Oh, yeah.
which is also Larry David.
Your father was talking to a man in a cape. A man in a cape was talking to my father. You want a divorce? You got one. All right. Nicknames.
I like, just real quick.
Sure.
I like when I think it was George when he's like, the jerk store called.
And they're out of you.
They're out of you.
And it takes him the whole episode to do that joke. And he's trying it on different people. Just Seinfeld, such a great. I mean, when I was younger, I think it was 97. I want to say it was 97 when it was a culmination. I understood but it didn't make sense. Like life kind of has to happen to you before you can understand Seinfeld. So we're all in a different space now. So, all right. Nicknames, Scotty, since it's your topic, start us off. What are some of the best nicknames for players?
For players, well, I gave you the Peyton Hillis one.
Mm-hmm.
I also I said this off the air right before we hit the air, but Joaquin Soria, I'm not sure where he's at this day, but he's a relief pitcher. He was the closer for the Royals for a while.
Yeah.
And his nickname was the Mexicutioner.
He was a pirate, was he not?
I want to say yes. Not 100% sure. But really like the Mexicutioner. Love Real Deal Holyfield's nickname. And also because that fight when Tyson fought Holyfield and you had the whole ear thing, that was like the first shockwave moment of my childhood, sports-wise, that I could like vividly remember. So Evander Holyfield, he'll always kind of hold like a special place as far as the nicknames go.
All right. So what about? Give me a rating. Okay, we're gonna go through a lot of these. Okay, Richie, what's your favorite?
The big unit.
Randy Johnson. Fair enough.
Randy Johnson.
All right, we're gonna go scale 1 to 10.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Let's do it this way: A, B, C, D, F. Okay. Of all these nicknames, you got to rate them all. LeBron James, King James.
I mean,
That's kind of.
it's kind of biased though, because like King James was crowned when I was a kid and when I was growing up watching the Cavs.
It was biblical, so there was a lot of kind of like, do we do this or not?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Give it
don't
a
know.
B.
I feel like it's a B.
Okay. Is it one of those like BCs or ABs, or is it just a strong B?
I think it's more BC.
Okay.
In my opinion.
So B minus.
Yeah.
All right. Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Boxer.
It's one of your favorites, isn't it?
I like that one. I like that one a lot. I give that one. The King James was more like B minus. I say that probably like A minus.
A minus. All right. Reggie, Sir Charles Barkley. It's kind of like King James, isn't it?
C.
Yeah. You just don't like Charles Barkley. That's all.
No, I don't.
Teddy Williams, Teddy Ballgame.
I see, like, Ted Williams played so long ago, so I really don't feel like it's cool, but I wouldn't rank it as an A.
All right, Richie, the Yankee Clipper, Joe DiMaggio.
See, I'm in the same realm that Scotty's in right now. Like, we weren't born during that era. We didn't see him play, but he's one of the greatest Yankees of all time, and it's a pretty cool name. So I'd give it like a B.
This one of the coolest ones, I think. Stu Grimson, hockey player, enforcer, named the Grim Reaper. That's a pretty strong name.
Yeah, that is a strong name.
I wish that they weren't showing a picture of him beating up a penguin. A Pittsburgh penguin, I should say. Like, there's no penguins were hurt during the filming of this broadcast. All right, the Black Mamba, Kobe
That's
Bryant. That's an A.
Yeah, that's fire. And rest his soul. Like, I was never like a diehard Kobe fan when he played, but that nickname, fire, man.
All right. What's your favorite nickname? Oh, Irvin Magic Johnson, says Chris Sigler. I mean, if your nickname's Magic and you don't know, like, actually have a magic show in Vegas, it's probably going to be a splendid name. All right. What about Sean Marion, the Matrix? That's kind of cool.
That's dope. Yeah. Cool.
Scotty's dropping some. The Sultan
slang
of SWAT.
That's an A.
Yeah.
That's like the most memorable nickname in the history of baseball.
This one, Stan Musial, Stan the Man.
That's a D.
Not a fan of it.
That's terrible.
No.
Not a fan. This one, A in creativity, the Hick from French Lick, Larry Bird.
Oh man, that's a great one. You gotta. I know you don't have HBO, DJ, but you gotta find a way to watch Showtime.
I have my ways of watching shows legally.
Okay, you gotta watch Showtime on the late 70s Lakers, because they go there. There's a lot of the guys that play Magic and Bird. They're really good. Larry Bird was just so like over the top, like cocky. It's great.
Really?
Yeah.
How about Joe Montana, Joe Cool?
I don't know.
I mean, cool's in the name, so you can't really hate
I'd probably
it.
give that a B minus.
Help me with this one. Nick Young, Swaggy P.
Swaggy P.
He doesn't even have a P in his name.
I don't know where the P came from, but
I give that one a C minus. I don't know.
This one might be my favorite. The human highlight reel, Dominique Wilkins. Like, if your name is the human highlight reel, that's legit.
That's pretty sweet.
Like, you don't need to be in the Hall of Fame because you are the human highlight reel.
That's sweet.
Yeah,
There's
Skip to my Lou.
well, that wasn't a nickname. isn't that his handle? Like, didn't
Yeah.
he fell out of the NBA and like into like the N1 mixtape tour, and that was his name? I'm pretty sure. Yeah. See?
Yeah.
N1 mixtape star. Solid NBA player, they say. Interesting. White Chocolate, Jason Williams.
That's funny.
I remember that one. Charlie Hustle. I mean, for a guy that's name's Pete and you get the nickname Charlie, I dig it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Pernell Whitaker, a.k.a. Sweet Pea, the boxer. I dig it. But
See,
I think
I don't know if I'd like that nickname as a boxer. Like Sweet Pea, I feel like that's just not like intimidating.
good. Then maybe they come
You know
soft
what I
on
mean?
you and
Like,
you lay a hard one
facing
right on
Sweet
her,
Pea
right on
tonight,
her
like-
chin. There's one guys that we can't deny is taken. Everybody knows him by this. Eldrick Woods, a.k.a. Tiger. I mean,
I don't think a lot of people know his actual name. It's just Tiger Woods. You know?
yeah, kind of like people don't really know your nickname is Tiger. Tiger Giuliano.
They don't know that.
They
They
never
do
knew.
now.
They will on Monday.
Yeah.
Take that
So
by
will that
storm.
who's playing with us again?
Me, you, and Quinn, and somebody from the AJGA.
Yeah, well, whoever's playing. for
They're
them
gonna
is
kill
know.
us, dude. Like,
Oh, we're toast.
we can talk a big game, but we're just gonna sit there and pray that we pray that we tee it off.
I'll be praying
and
that
don't
I
kill
can hit a
anybody.
fairway.
Yes, I hit it 30 yards last time, and it beep, 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 beep. Duck fart right down the Broadway. Anthony Hardaway, Penny.
Penny Hardaway.
It's okay. I love those commercials.
Little Penny.
Like, yeah, the little penny. Back in
Basketball
the,
Jones.
yeah.
Shaquille O'Neal. He had so many, but the one that everybody goes by, Shaq. Who else? Karl Malone, the mailman. I know Scotty loves the mailman.
The mailman is that's a really cool nickname. I also, in as far as creativity goes, it's maybe not the most, but I'm really biased towards. I love Pistol Pete Maravich because I did a book report on him in school, and
Book reports always
it
Trump.
sounds like Ty, but
It does sound like Ty. I did a book report on him once. Chris Ziegler says, as a team, the Detroit Pistons, the bad boys.
I think the Fab Five has one of the best nicknames for teams.
I agree with that. The glove, Gary Payton. That's a good one.
The big
hurt. Still using it to this day, even selling boner pills. he's selling boner pills using the big hurt as his moniker. Come on.
You said boner. I could have dropped the F-bomb.
No, there's way different. Boner and the F-bomb are significantly different, Scotty. Sweetness, Walter Payton. I mean, that's cool.
That's sweet.
That's sweet.
Paul Pierce, the truth.
I'd give that a C.
I remember them dropping this, and I was like, what? That is the stupidest
That's
nickname
terrible.
I've ever heard in my life.
You know what's good though?
What?
The answer.
Alan, I'm sure he's on here somewhere. Mean Joe Green. I mean,
Not bad.
he was mean. Broadway Joe Namath. I mean, it's fitting
Yeah.
because the dude he played big, I guess. Like, people talk about him, and I'm like, he didn't do a whole lot. He was just a big personality. Dick Lane, aka Night Train. I love this. I met Night Train Lane last year.
Where?
in August at the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Huh.
Nice guy. I think. Wait a minute. I want to think. I hope he's not like dead. I'm talking about the wrong guy. I think he was there. I want to say they were doing a documentary on him. I think is what it was. There it is. Pistol Pete Maravich. The Rain Man, Sean Kemp. That's legit. The Dominator, Dominic Hasek. The Cobra, Dave Parker. I mean, that's anytime you're called the Cobra or anything to do with a snake.
Yeah. That's intimidating.
Thomas the Hitman Hearns. Should be Brett the Hitman Hart, but we'll go with it. Chocolate Thunder, Daryl Dawkins. Scotty, I heard people called you Chocolate Thunder.
Chocolate Thunder. I love it. The Iceman's another great one.
Nice man, George Gervin. And we got Say Hey Kid, Willie Mays.
Mr. October is amazing.
That's about as cool as you can get.
That is amazing.
To have a month named after you, and that's your
Mr.
nickname.
October.
The assassin, Jack Tatum. Who else we have here? There he is.
The answer.
The answer, Allen Iverson. Good call. Air Jordan.
That's just classic, man.
Out of all the pictures they
Yeah,
could have
I was just
chosen,
gonna
they
think
have one of him sitting in a loge
Why is he in a box behind? He's
behind some random
lady.
people.
Who's this guy? Oh, I'm not
Probably
sitting.
his secretary.
Yeah, I'm not sitting next to Michael Jordan. No biggie. Ed Too Tall Jones, Kenny the Snake Stabler,
The refrigerator.
William the Refrigerator Perry,
That's a great one. I forgot about.
Reggie White, the Minister of Defense, Andre Bad Moon Rison, Rod Smart. He hate me. Do you remember him?
I do remember he was the inaugural XFL MVP.
Yes, he
wasn't
was. Yes, he was. Prime time Deion Sanders. I mean, that's a classic one. Tim Duncan, the big fundamental. I think he could have had something better.
Yeah, that's probably.
But that's fitting for Duncan because he was kind of like.
That's how he played. Yeah.
This one, the Intimidator, Dale Earnhardt. If you were in a race car and you got the three running up behind you, that's how he got his name, is the Intimidator, because he would ride you like a horse.
I was devastated the day he passed up. I was sick that day, and I saw the news was breaking. The guy's like, "I'm sorry to say we've lost Dale Earnhardt." Like, I'll never.
Well, are you a race fan?
I'm not like, I don't watch every race like all the time, but there's guys I follow for sure.
You know what was really weird when we went to Bethune-Cookman for YSU baseball, and we drove right past the Daytona 500. Like, you could see the entire stands. Like, we took some back road behind where the racetrack is at, and it's like, weird because all you think about when you think about the Daytona 500 is him, dying in that race. And like, you look over to your left and you're like, wow, that's like where one of the, most famous race car drivers of all time
passed away.
It's
weird. I didn't even think about that. I was at the Daytona 500 in 2012, and it was the Coca-Cola 400 actually, but it was at Daytona.
Yeah.
And I was on the track, like
wow.
in the pits on the track. Like, I was walking the track, and you're like walking, and it's this way because there's such a slope to it.
Yeah.
So I've got pictures of, and I never even once thought about that.
Yeah.
Never once. That's crazy. But yeah, I didn't know you were a race guy, Scotty.
Yeah, there was guys, more so when I was a kid, but even in the the teenage years, there was guys I really, really followed.
Here's a guy you might know, Boom Mancini. Word on the street is you know this guy a little bit.
Yeah, I do know him a little bit. He is now family now, honestly, through marriage. He married my cousin.
Really?
So, yeah, we went to his wedding in California back in 2014. So
don't get on his bad side.
Yeah.
What's his real name?
Just Ray Mancini.
What's his dad's name?
His dad was Lenny.
Yep, good job.
Lenny. Yeah.
Can't get anything past Scotty.
No, it ain't happening. Even if you're a cheater like Ty.
The great one.
We're on to you. We're on to you, Bartel.
What was the bowler that you brought up?
Oh, Guppy Troop. Yeah, and he.
No way.
When did he bowl?
We're calling bananas.
He's like in his 70s now. He's still bowling.
And you think that Ty Bartel actually studied what this dude did in 1942 or whatever it was?
What year was it?
Well, I didn't say a year. The question was how many national and regional titles.
What's his name again?
Has Guppy Troop won?
Balderdash.
I do feel like he just, Googled it because,
8 national titles. I looked that up in 2 seconds.
but
We're gonna start calling Ty Google.
But yeah, I do feel like he Googled that because it took him like a while. Like it wasn't one of those where I got this. Like he was, it looked like he was totally baffled, and then he just pulled it out of his.
Like this when he goes, hang on, let me think about this. And then you see his eyes go, yeah, cheating.
Yeah.
We got to call him out on this. We got to figure this out.
Yeah. I mean, there's the 8 national titles, but there's the 41 regional too, and he got them.
In all of his life, in all of his studies, in all of his book reports, what's his dude's name?
Guppy True.
That guy? That's what we're studying?
Guppy True.
Yeah, like I don't get it. The reason I came up with that question, though, it's funny. I don't know if you heard earlier, but there was a Disney movie. You were a little bit older than me, so it was before or after you would have probably watched Disney, but it was called The Alley Cats, and it was about bowling. And they referenced Guppy True.
Were you watching the Alley Cats or something?
I did.
You can admit
I
it.
was a kid.
Say you can admit it. If you were watching it on Disney Plus or something, you can admit it.
I haven't yet, but there's a couple I want to maybe go back and revisit.
There's some good stuff coming out on streaming nowadays. We're gonna take a break. When we come back, we're gonna talk about what we think are the best fathers in baseball, or in all of sports, and in all of television. We want to hear from you as well. We come back on the YSN Power Hour, brought to you by these great sponsors. Reliability, innovation, scale. These 3 values are those we look forward to in our business and in our team. If you're ready for a reliable employer who looks constantly to think outside the box in big ways, we're ready for you. Apply now. Help us push the envelope and deliver success. Envelope 1. Take that one extra step.
Before the lights come on, before the workday begins, before a long day is ended, or it's time to have fun, it all starts with the people at Joe Dickey Electric. From replacing a light fixture in your home to building a substation for your business, no job is too big or too small. The people of Joe Dickey Electric power them all. Joe Dickey Electric, over 60 years of powering the Mahoning Valley.
You're not waiting to see what the world has in store for you. It's more about what you have in store for the world. All you need is the opportunity. All you need are the resources of a large university and the advantages of a personalized academic setting where you can experience new worlds in the arts and sciences, business, and education and make them your own. We are where you shape your future. We are Youngstown State University and proud.
WRS Wealth Advisors, the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Located on South Avenue in Boardman.
Oh, man. Welcome back to the YSN Power Hour. Always fun having you two goons in the studio talking. And the funny stuff is, it all happens between in the breaks. Yeah. So we just start giggling about like things that happen when you go to a random Wendy's in Western Pennsylvania, and some very nice old man decides to, there's a couple, and they were an older couple, and they were having lunch together, and for some reason this old man behind him gets up and said, "We'll see you ladies later." And the elder man just kind of, I can't hear you because I'm old, he said, and the guy repeated it Like he wasn't good enough the first time, and he goes in for round 2. And Richie says, "I think we're going to see a fight, an old man fight here at Wendy's," which is, by the way, home to the strawberry frosty now. Yes.
I couldn't will myself.
You
to
couldn't
do it.
do it. You were soft at the counter. You went up there.
I went up there and
You
I was
thought
like,
you were gonna
I'm
nail it.
probably gonna do it, and then I just didn't do it.
Soft. It was soft. And then Quinn comes back with
Some mystic drink from outer space. He came back with a cup that I've never seen before.
it was
It
orange.
looks like it would flood your esophagus.
Quinn no longer has kidneys. It's basically what we're telling you. It was orange and sparkled, and I don't understand what it was.
He got a drink out of the, what do they call that? The simulator on the next gen.
Yeah.
That's what he-
My guy was drinking Romulan ale. My guy, he put it down, and I was like, "There's like Richie. What did you drink?
I just had a lemonade.
You had lemonade. I had cherry high C, and Quinn comes with his orange concoction of something, and we were just kind of looking at each other. And then he took everything that was healthy on his sandwich and basically
Pickles, lettuce,
tomato,
gone.
See ya to the side,
And
like,
he adds cheese and bacon
on a chicken sandwich, which I didn't know you could do.
with the little ranch.
And he's dipping everything in ranch. God bless him. God bless him. Guys, it is time to talk about dads. I mean, with Father's Day being this Sunday, obviously Father's very important to us. Here, the three of us in this studio. Fathers in sports that have their kids come up and play the game, one game or another. Who are some of the most memorable ones that you can remember in all of sports? Scotty? Well, actually, we started with you last time. Richie, let's go with you.
I mean, we flashed it on the screen. Vladimir Guerrero and his son Vlad Jr.
Vladdy, he likes to party. You got to get up to get down. Every time, Richie loved it.
I mean, both of those guys are some of the most well-known baseball players during their era. I mean, Vlad Sr. was known for hitting the ball out of the dirt and being such a great player in Anaheim. And then now Vlad Guerrero Jr. has risen up the ranks and, Toronto. And
stud.
He's an absolute stud and a power hitter. And he's one of the faces of the league right now. So, I mean, that's a pretty powerful dynamic with a father and son duo outside of, Ken and
Now, I'm
Griffey
trying to
Jr.
remember. Did he win the Gold Glove or the Silver Bat?
He won the Silver Slugger.
Silver Slugger as the first baseman. They flipped him over to first base. He
Yes.
came up as a third baseman.
Third baseman, DH, and first baseman.
Incredible. All right, Scotty.
Yeah, he's really fun though. In Vlad Guerrero Sr., he was one, because like you said, Richie, he was such a great bad ball. He's probably the best bad ball hitter like ever. So yeah, he's definitely one. I think like one, I don't know if you mentioned it earlier, DJ, but as far as like NBA goes, I mean, I remember hearing a lot about, my dad would talk about Del Curry, and now we see what Steph is doing, going for his fourth.
That's tomorrow night, right?
Title, yeah.
I feel like the people don't hate the Warriors as much as they used to when they were winning their first three.
Well, it's because you're around this area and everything
that's
was the
true.
Cavs against Warriors every single year.
But another, like, and again, I don't remember the seniors, like his playing career, but Barry Bonds, like he's definitely in my top 5, like, favorite baseball players of all, like, I've ever seen. So Bobby and Barry Bonds would be up there.
Is he still up there even after,
easy
shooting up?
Yeah, whoa, he never did it, Richie. You better stop it. We'll cut up that contract real
Never
quick.
did it.
No. Did he? Has he ever been convicted?
I mean, kind of.
Has he?
I don't know. I thought so.
No, he hasn't.
No, he hasn't.
Are you sure?
Do I have to do the Albert Bell?
There's your cork bat.
He's never been convicted.
I guess
Not once. I think you
He
need to.
says it.
I think you need to look into that camera right there and apologize to Barry Bonds right now.
In testimony, Bond says he received and used cream and clear substances from Anderson during the 2003 baseball season.
I don't believe that is.
So, I mean, it's written by ESPN.
Oh,
Pretty solid source.
the worldwide leader in sports.
I don't know.
You want to go on reliable sources, you take your ass down the road. I'm with that, Barry Bonds. But there's two really, if you think about it. Ken Griffey Jr. and Ken Griffey Sr. and the Mannings. That's my number one.
I mean, I thought those two families before, the show. I thought about it. I could have easily went with Griffey too, but I don't know. I was just thinking more because I do remember Griffey's career a little bit when he was in Seattle.
Senior or junior?
Junior.
Okay.
But those were like his prime. Like he had a couple okay years in Cincy, but he wasn't what he was when he first broke in. So
I agree with that. I mean, Griffey, when he was with the Mariners, was
unreal,
unbelievable.
Yeah.
And if it weren't for the Indians, he'd probably have a World Series ring. I would argue it all day. They would have played the Braves.
Yeah,
was it 95 or 97?
The Braves in 95.
Yeah, and I think they would have won.
Marlins was the second one. Yeah.
I think they would have won.
I mean, you think about it, top to bottom, I still think the Indians were a better team than the Braves, but the better team doesn't always win.
Because you had Superman Greg Maddux on the bump. That guy was unbelievable. We talked about him yesterday. People talk about all these flamethrowers, and the Braves had Glavine, Smoltz, and Maddux.
Yeah.
And who's the other? I'm trying to think the other guy. No, Steve Avery. So they won. They won.
I think
spoiler alert.
David Justice, before he came to the Indians, he was in his prime. He was with the Braves.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then here's one for you. What two numbers did David Justice wear during his tenure with the Indians?
Did he wear 23?
He did.
I don't know the other.
33.
33.
He came in wearing 33, and then he got 23 later on.
Didn't he play for Oakland?
He did play for Oakland. He's a Moneyball.
That's the Moneyball.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because he's the one that wanted a drink out of the vending machine, and he had to pay $1 to get it.
For it, yeah.
He dated Halle Berry.
He also... That was not a good ending to that story. That was not. I don't think Davey wants to remember dating Halle Berry very much. That was not as you would call a Disney movie ending. Let's go to famous fathers in television. I know you guys watch a lot of television as well as I do. Famous TV dads that really rank up there for you, whether it be because of the way they are on TV, whether it be because of the way their kids are, or just because, man, that'd be cool to have a dad like that. Scotty?
I always really liked, I talked about Bob Saget already, but I also really liked the dad, Philip on the Fresh Prince. Really liked him a lot.
Philip Banks.
Yeah, and I was big on, I don't know why, maybe because it was so like cheesy, and I could go for like, I kind of get cheesy sometimes, but Family Matters and Carl being that like cop, like I really like that too. But my favorite TV dad, again, those guys were good, but my favorite TV dad, honestly, and this is more recent because I just completed the show maybe a year and a half ago, but it's Eric Taylor from Friday Night Lights.
Oh, okay. That's respectable.
It's a great show if you haven't seen it.
I haven't. I've seen the movie.
They have their motto is, I wanted to get a shirt that had this on it. They say before, like, every game, clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose.
Yep. Brady says that too. There he is right there.
Yeah.
Richie, how about you?
Tony Soprano.
Really?
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, it's one of the coolest stories because, like, he lives two different lives if you think about it. You know, he has to disguise to his wife and his kids. His wife obviously knows about it.
Yep.
But his kids at a young age don't really know what he's involved with and how much trouble he could get into. And
what was his kid's name?
AJ.
But, like, when you look at it, he lives two different lives. When he comes home, you know, he's a dad, he's a father, they go out to eat. But, you know, when he's not home, he's doing business with the mob. So
I don't know if I
story.
feel like I told you this before, DJ, but my first niece, her name is Meadow, and I just love the name, so that's where I got the name, was from the Sopranos.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I like that. All right, I got a plethora, and not just from this, but Al Bundy. I think we already talked about that one.
Not to be like a pig here on the air, but I, like, when I was coming of age, man, with Christina Applegate.
Oh, geez, here we go.
She was just.
That's your babe?
She looked good, man. She looked good.
Scotty can't keep focused on the dads. He's got to go to the daughters. Let's who else? Phil Dunphy from Modern Family.
Yep,
great classic dad. But the number one for me, and this is gonna catch some flag. Jack Pearson from This Is Us, the number one dad. Like,
really?
Oh my gosh,
my mom loves that show.
Great show.
I've never really.
It's over now. They just finished it not even a month ago. Love This Is Us. He always knew what to say. He always knew what to do. He overcame adversity in his life. But he's such a good dad. Whoa, Scotty, wake up. Super Dave making a cameo.
It must have been the This Is Us conversation.
You ever seen Yellowstone?
Haven't started
It's
Yellowstone.
amazing.
Hey.
Amazing.
Dave making his cameo so he can get
John
on his
Dutton.
IMDb and jot it down. That's happy Father's Day. It's all the dads out there, from our family to yours. Happy Father's Day. Of course, we have a few days to get there, but this will be the last time these guys are in studio. Wait, Richie will be on Friday. Scotty won't be in until next Wednesday. So, Scotty, how about a shout out to your dad for Father's Day? Give him a little something.
Yeah. Always, I can't throw enough kudos out there to Big Dog, because he spoils me more than I could put into words. Basically, I can get whatever I want, like whenever I want it. And we've gone to so many sporting events together as a family, and he's the guy that turned me into a sports junkie and showed me how impactful sports could be. And it wasn't always about winning and losing. It was about that bond and spending time together. So big shout out to Big Dog, my dad, Scott Mincher.
Hey, while we're at it, Richie, you want to go your dad?
Yeah, I mean, I got two. So, my stepdad, who stepped in a pretty big role in my family life, coming in the last couple of years. And, he's provided for me when it comes to, healthcare and making sure I have a roof over my head every night. So, I appreciate him. And he was also my baseball coach for the longest time. So he's a guy that made me fall in love with baseball. And, he's the guy that made me fall in love with Tom Hamilton. I'd never listened to Tom Hamilton. I was watching him on TV until he came along, and, he introduced me to him when I was younger as a kid. And, I fell in love with listening to him on the radio. So, he was kind of that guy that brought me along his baseball journey. And, he was a baseball guy as a kid. He won a district championship. So, I mean, he was a big baseball fan. So thank him. And then, my other dad, who's been through a lot in his life, he's battled a lot of adversity, and I've I've learned a lot from him, during my last couple of years being around him than I did as a kid, just because it shows me, it doesn't matter what disability you have or what happened in life. He always wakes up in the morning, always has a smile on his face, and, he always hugs me and he loves me the best that he can. So he's shown me a lot over the last couple of years.
I love it, man. You're just getting to know your families more and more over the years. They've raised two great young men, and couldn't be more proud of you. And I'm sure they feel the same way, if not 10 times over. So happy Father's Day out there to all of your fathers and all of your fathers back home. God bless you. Hug your kids, hug your dads this weekend, especially because you just never know when it could be the last time. So God bless all of you. That we're just going to use that as our spark. That's about as good a spark as you're going to get on a day like today. So get out there, enjoy the weather, stay cool, but get out there because remember, we're only 6 months away from 30-degree weather here in Northeast Ohio. Unbelievable to think about it. Maybe it cools you down a little bit. Who knows? That's going to do it for the show today. Thanks for tuning in. Tune in tomorrow, 3 to 4, right here on Ysn for the Power Hour, brought to you by some awesome sponsors, including Joe Dickey Electric. Until next time, see ya. Ysn thanks you for